your skin, that shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, living your best. Racks up. Oh, keep walking with confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Hey boos, hey! Welcome to the Lexus Exodus Divest or Die Halloween Week Special. Do y'all like my outfit? I'm serving witchy vibes. Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday, if you can't tell. So to celebrate, I'm hanging out with you guys every day at 6:30 ET as we count down the final few days before Halloween and discuss the spooky stories of Blackistan and how you better divest or die, girl. Before we get started, really quickly, if you enjoy this content or if you learned something from my platform, please subscribe, say hello in the comment section, engage. It is absolutely free and it is the best way for you to support your favorite content creators. All right, let's do it. Y'all, I want to talk about alpha men again tonight, real alpha men. And we've talked about this topic before, but I decided it's time to spin the block to circle back on this conversation because Brad has been dragging lately. He's been chin-checking Dusties left and right and has been educating them exactly on what true masculinity is. So let's revisit this conversation and talk about how all of these Dusties are calling themselves alpha men because they got a few coins or because they slang and peen everywhere or because they demand submission from the women in their lives. They're jokes because true alpha men protect, they problem solve, they provide, they build businesses, they build infrastructure, they build economy, and most importantly, they build solid families. So let's look at some examples that illustrate this. So I want to look at this first clip of this guy who explains accurately what true masculinity looks like.
I think that there's a shortage of real men on this planet. Most men are frankly just look, man, if you can't get your money right, something's wrong. If you can't take care of your family, you got to ask yourself, how much of a man are you? For me, that identifies me as a man. My ability to take care of my family. I don't just mean financially, but I do mean financially. My job as head of household is to take care of the economics of the household. My job as a man is to provide a place where it's warm, where we can sleep, where we're protected, a place where there's food. I need to be able to take care of the family, shelter, food, clothing, and I need to have some fun. My family wants to have fun. We want to have experiences. So I need to provide a secure environment for them so bad things aren't just happening. So men need to bone up. The government can't take care of you. Get strong, right? Get a backbone and take care of your family. Quit blaming the government.
Making excuses.
Your neighbor, the economy, or conditions, whatever. People just need to man up, bone up.
Child, listen. Okay. So Brad said a real man protects. He provides. He said his job is to ensure that his wife and his family are secure and that they're safe. So the first thing that qualifies you as being a man is how you take care of your wife and children, what you do for your family. So if you collectively pumping and dumping, abandoning your children, and 65% of your children grow up in fatherless homes, you're not a real man. You're not an alpha man. Trying to force her to pay 50-50, you're not a real man. And we know statistically Dusties are the most unemployed, least earning groups of men. So why they trying to poke their chests out, bragging about masculinity? I'm an alpha male with all this machismo. I demand submission, respect me. Brad said, this grown folks conversation. You need to sit at the kiddie table. Sit down and eat your food. You don't qualify, Dusty. And notice how he said, stop blaming the government. Shots fired, Nick Nog. He's talking to you. He said, Dusty, it's not the government's responsibility to take care of the children you created. He said, stop blaming external conditions, Dusty. Stop ching and moaning and crying about the white man, the white man, the white man. Be a man, grow some balls, get a backbone, and man the F up or stop calling yourself a man. You're not an alpha man. This is what true masculinity looks like. So I want to watch this next guy break down what true masculinity is and what real alpha men look like so eloquently.
Guys out there that'll give their wife an allowance. Here, you get $300 a week. You spend it however you want.
That's your money.
Yeah, that's your money. Like, shit, dude. You should give her everything and anything she wants. Your wife should not have any wants if you can help it. Now, if you can't help it, that's the question. Can you help it? Because most people are too afraid to say, I can't help it. Like, I don't know what to do. Obviously, if I knew what to do, I'd be rich. So instead, they just want to hate on me for saying the truth.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Yes, Brad. Come through, Brad. Child, listen. And this man is fine. For my audio listeners, listen, y'all gonna have to come back and watch the video on this one because he is fine. He is a good looking man. I'm talking about dark hair, dark eyes, chiseled jawline. Look at them arms. He is fine with that salt and pepper hair. Yes, we stand for a Gray Fox Zaddy. But anyway, he knows what true masculinity is. Brad said an allowance. What's that? What's that? My wife deserves the world. I'm not giving her no allowance. He said, I'm going to give her everything. She should never desire for anything. I'm going to give her everything that she wants and make sure that all of her desires are fulfilled. He like the woman that holds down the fort, who's my therapist, my cheerleader, who takes care of my home, who raises my children, who F's and feeds me. She should never want for anything. And if she do, that means something wrong. So yeah, Dusty, if your wife wants for something and you can't afford it, that's a personal problem. Sound like you got work to do, Dusty. That's a big D energy, and I'm here for it, y'all. That's a major turn on. True masculinity. This is a true alpha man, and I'm here for it. Okay.
Shout out to my exes.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow.
Keep black women's names out your fucking mouth. I said, keep black women's names out your fucking mouth. Seriously, guys. Are you tired of all the negativity and toxicity black women are subjected to in media, music, and online? We are ridiculed, denigrated, and berated daily, and I'm sick of it. That's why I created a private safe space for black women that focuses on divestment, development, and self-empowerment. My private Patreon is for black women only, and is a community where we are affirmed, encouraged, supported, and uplifted. For the cost of a coffee, get access to my Patreon community, which consists of a private Discord group to connect with like-minded black women, ad-free bonus content, exclusive private lives, and much, much more. You can check it out on patreon.com/LexisExodus. The link is also listed below. Shout out to my exes.
I want to keep going, and I want to look at this next real alpha man who checks Dusties for degrading black women. Ciao. So let's watch this, and then we'll talk through.
If my Jewish mother saw me disparaging Jewish women, or any women for that matter, online for clout, she would end me. That'd be it. And look, plenty of you are going to say, hey, sit this one out. It's none of your business how black men talk to black women. You're right, I'm not tone policing this guy. But I am particularly disturbed by this video because black women, dark-skinned black women in particular, are probably the most patient people on this planet because they themselves are the victims of more violence and vitriol than any other group ever. So yeah, to hear that they're being labeled as innately violent by a black man might be especially hurtful. But again, I know this isn't my business, and I'm not going to tone police this man, but I do wonder what his black mother thinks about this shit.
Okay, and if you're having a hard time understanding what's happening here, Brad is responding to a clip of a guy saying, this is how God made dark-skinned females, and he's adding all of these ingredients together. And once he gets to violence, he pours a trash can full of violence, quote unquote violence, into the pot. So that's the punchline, you big old cornball. It wasn't even funny. Womp, womp, womp. So Brad is responding to this, and he's shocked. He's appalled. He asks, what do your bald-headed black-ass mama think of this? And I'm just joking. He doesn't say that, but he does say, how dare you disparage Black women, the women in your community? He goes on to say, if my Jewish mother saw me degrading other Jewish women online, she would be ashamed and she would check me. Listen, say it with your chest, Brad. I'm going to need for you to say it with your chest. Stand up. Because you can tell he's reluctant to say something because of cancel culture. These folks will cancel anybody who critiques these groups of dudes because they're whack male worshiping. And he know the mammies like to clap back. So he says in advance, I'm not trying to tone police. I just think this is inappropriate. And it's like, no apologies. I'm going to need for you to stand firm and stand 10 toes down. The mammies might be upset, but Black women who are for Black women and girls and who care about the upliftment and empowerment of Black women and girls understand that this is problematic. And we appreciate real men calling them out. This is real alpha behavior. So instead of punching down on women and talking about their looks and talking about their personality and demeanor, instead of bullying defenseless, weaker women within your own race, men check other men. And I didn't check the TikTok, but how much you want to bet the Nog didn't say anything back to Brad? Child, I can't. So I want to look at this next clip of a real alpha man explaining how Blackistan is not in the state that it's currently in due to racism, but it's in the poor state that it's in due to the toxic culture that's perpetuated. Child, so let's watch this and then we'll chat.
That racism is not a driving factor in income inequality.
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't, you know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why Black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why Black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of Black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high. Explain, if it has nothing to do with culture, explain to me why the single motherhood rate in the Black community jumped from 20% to 70% in the same course of time that the civil rights movement has made such tremendous strides. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? And if it is, please explain to me how that happened.
All I heard was fat.
Brad emptied the clip, y'all. He got that smoke. Shots fired. He said, the reason why you're poor is not due to racism. The reason why your communities are so dilapidated and they're in ruins, it's not due to racism. The reason why you experience income equality is not due to racism. It's because you keep creating fatherless homes, Dusty. You keep dropping out of school. You don't like to work. You keep going to jail, Nick Nog. You keep offing one another. You keep promoting and glamorizing drug and crime culture and all this degeneracy and this thug culture. He said, y'all keep crying about the white man and racism, but how the hell y'all doing worse off in 2022 than what y'all did back before the civil rights movement occurred? It doesn't make any damn sense. And even the Dusty at the end had to concede and co-sign what he said, talking about facts. Yeah, we know, Nick Nog. We've been saying this. We've been saying this, and y'all get mad at us. I told y'all. So whack men will poke their chest out with all this bravado and put on all this machismo, beating their chests around Black women, talking about, I'm a real alpha man, respect me. Meanwhile, once a real man walks into the room, all of a sudden they clam up, and they ain't got nothing to say. Let a Black woman say the same thing and watch what happens. Child, we get doxxed and harassed and threatened when we tell the truth. Child, I can't. So I want to look at this last clip of this man who takes down a Dusty, attacking random people at the gas station. So let's watch this and then we'll talk through it.
You know, a lot of people will take out their phones and record and not help a person. I decided to jump in.
The tables are turned on a suspected thief when a customer who just so happens to be a black belt takes matters into his own hands. It unfolded on the city's north side, and it was all caught on video. Casey Cronus has the story.
The customer who stepped in when things went south has more than 20 years of jiu-jitsu training and tells us in that moment his instincts took over.
Come on. No, man, I'm not letting you go, man. You were harassing those girls. What? And then you swung at the 7-Eleven employee.
It started as a trip to the store to buy Slurpees for his kids. But soon, Idris Redzovic found himself taking down an alleged thief.
Let me go there. I'm not going to let you go until the cops come.
The owner of the Supreme Academy of Jiu-Jitsu in Lincoln Park is a third-degree Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Last Thursday night, while at 7-Eleven on Ashland and Lawrence, Redzovic says he saw a man harassing people outside.
He comes up to me and says, "What are you looking at?" In my training, I tell people, take a step back, hands up, don't engage unless you feel safe.
But Redzovic says when the man went into the store and punched an employee, he'd seen enough.
Jumped in, grabbed him like I do in training here, put him down, flattened him like a pancake, and then I tied him up like a pretzel.
For 18 minutes, Redzovic live streamed the ordeal, pinning the man down until police arrived.
And he started bothering this guy, and then he swung at this guy, started attacking this guy, and that's when I jumped in and took him down to the ground.
Earlier in the day, police say that same suspect had stolen from the store.
Sometimes people come to us after something happens to learn self-defense. Why not learn it now?
Redzovic teaches children as young as 5 years old. His oldest student is 72. And you can watch the full 18-minute video of that takedown on our website, fox32chicago.com. Reporting in Lincoln Park, Casey Cronus, Fox 32 Chicago.
Listen, y'all, this is what I'm talking about. This is true alpha male energy. So this guy saw this dude harassing innocent women. He saw him attack the store clerk. He stepped in and protected the people from being harmed. Brad not only body slammed his ass like a pancake, he said, he restrained him for 18 minutes until authorities arrived. Y'all, he even live streamed it, which is really badass. I don't know how highly skilled you got to be able to physically restrain someone during a fight for 20 minutes and be able to get your phone out and stream it. They say he is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Child, he said, "I'm just trying to get some Slurpees for my kids and you done effed up." I know that's right. Protect, provide, and problem solve. This is an alpha man. This is an alpha man. So they don't pump and dump. They don't leave 65% of their children fatherless. Alpha men aren't unemployed and broke, crying with their handouts, talking about reparations from other men. They out building. They are out cultivating resources. They are handling business. That's alpha behavior. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Even if you think I should, bitch, nigga, I don't give
fellas, if y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.